Welcome back to the Milestone Moment, where we interview top producing agents, get to know their story, the moment it all changed for them. Today we have Brennan Clouse with the Emerald Group. Brennan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Thanks for being on here. Super excited. So tell us, how did you get your start in real estate? Tell us about your background.
Let's see. How do I start in real estate? So I originally came to Seattle and I worked at Microsoft right out of college, and I was there for about 3 years.
Okay.
And just trying to climb the corporate ladder, trying to get promoted. And it was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
And it was a little bit challenging to stay motivated in that industry, and with the competition and being able to kind of,
and just a massive
company. Massive company.
Yep.
Kind of feel a little bit lifeless. You go into your cubicle every day and open your laptop. So about the 2 to 3 year mark into that, I just started thinking about, like, what do I really want to do? And I really started to focus in on, like, what was exciting to me, like what would excite me on social media, what was interesting to me outside of work. And a lot of that was around home and even like interior design.
Okay.
And so just started exploring options. And one of my mentors, who was an interior designer, said, hey, why don't you get your real estate license? And they were like, you may not ever sell, but if you wanted to flip houses, just do it. And from then I started the coursework, and then I actually went in and I went to Keller Williams in Seattle. And I don't know if you know Becca Locke, but she was the managing broker there. And she was like, yeah, just get it and come start working.
Sure.
And so from there, I just kind of did. And so
now, did you kind of do like Microsoft and real estate for like a transitionary time, or how'd that go?
Okay. So it's something that I didn't tell people at the time, but I definitely was doing both at one time. So I would wake up really early. I would make my calls. I would try to get in touch with as many new clients as possible. And then I would go into the office. And then I would leave again in the afternoon and, do showings ideally if I had them at that point, but also just follow up with people. And so I was doing both for about 1.5 years before I had some sales under my belt and was able to actually make the leap full time.
And now you've built a team. I mean, how did the team atmosphere happen? As far as, obviously, you fairly quickly, from what I know, got the team going. Or tell me a little bit about that transition.
I think early on I realized that real estate was difficult to do alone, and that it can be pretty taxing, to be in it by yourself, just emotionally, but also physically. Like when you're the only person with a client, it can be hard to balance kind of the office work and being in the field. So I knew pretty early on, like, I wanted to surround myself with other people who were doing the same thing. And so I tried, and there were a few failed attempts at the beginning to build a team. I think I was a little too young. I didn't really know what was going on. Obviously, you have to learn by trial and error, but pretty quickly knew, I wanted to get into having a team to be able to surround myself with extra support, and also just support each other and make the environment a little bit more exciting, so there is a team atmosphere. And so from there, that's kind of the path I chose, and have stuck to that ever since in different variations.
I love that. And then do you do any of the design stuff for clients, or how does that connection? Is this just a passion of yours?
It's more like a passion of mine now. I have a couple Airbnb properties, so I really get to like flex that muscle in those. But I will make recommendations to clients who are selling. I'll look at their house and tell them, hey, we can move things this way or that way to make it a little bit more spacious or optimize the flow. So I do like doing some of that stuff when the opportunity arises.
Some great advice and making sure it's set up and presentable. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Now with the team, what drives you to kind of continue to grow the team? Obviously, you guys have had great success. You're one of the kind of the top Zillow realtor partners. Tell us about kind of your transitions there.
Yeah, totally. So I've gone through a couple different like team variations. I think right now what's most important is having a team that feels super tight knit, that feels like the culture is one of support and camaraderie. And that I have found is more manageable with a smaller team. And so what's always kind of driven me to keep the team is seeing other people's success and being able to help people achieve kind of career goals that they never thought they could. And so that's really important to me, and something that kind of makes my job feel more rewarding. But now the focus is really on the culture, making sure that we are working together, that it feels really good working with the people you're working with. And so that's been a really exciting milestone kind of to hit as a group.
Now, I think obviously you've got, by design, a small knit, kind of tight knit group. Are you looking to grow? And if so, is there like a specific type of, avatar for an agent out there? Or is it like if you saw somebody that was really good that just kind of naturally joined? Or is it like a recruiting thing? Like, how does that part as far as work?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I look at growth as like slow and steady.
Yeah.
And something that I'm always interested in if the right person comes along.
Right.
I think that...
You're not pounding the phones, calling, like recruiting, like, hey, you want to join my team?
I mean, I do my fair share of recruiting, but it's not like, I need to add 5 agents at any time. So really what I've committed to myself and to the team is that we'll never be any larger than 7 agents at a time. And I think that that's a really good size for us to still all know each other, still feel like no one's lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And so really the type of person that I think works well on our team is someone who is high achieving, who really wants to go out and do the work and wants to be the best in the business. I don't think that anyone on our team is just doing real estate to get by. I think that they're thinking about it as, this is my career. I want to be the best possible realtor I can be for my clients. I want to give my clients the best experience. So that's really important to me, is someone who has that motivation to be the best in the business. And I'd love to see, everybody on our team selling 20 million a year. Like, that's really a great team of kind of titans who are working together. Yeah. Now the show, the Milestone Moment, is when it all changed for you in real estate, or maybe there's a couple moments. What do you think your milestone moment is? Yeah, that's tough. I think that there's a milestone moment that I really try to get to happen over and over again. And that's, I can think of one of my very first transactions with a client named Tom. And when they were selling their condo, they needed a lot of help, right? Getting it ready, making sure that they made the right decisions to get the best sales price, and then moving on in life, right? And being able to help them through all of those steps, and then at the end seeing how life-changing that sale was for them. And I think that that's something that I try to tap into each time with any new client, is like, how is this going to impact their life in such a significant way? And really seeing that, I think, is what brings a lot of joy to the business. And I think that that's when I knew, kind of that milestone of like, hey, this is why I'm here and why I continue to come back to it. When you can truly add value to somebody's life and get that transition done in the next chapter, and they just feel like everything went as smooth as it could. And that's like recreating that as the best milestone moment. Okay. Yeah, we always tell our clients at the very beginning, like, we want you to look back on this transaction once you have the keys or you're handing over the keys and say, wow, I thought this was going to be a lot more difficult than it is. Love that. And that we have taken some of that burden off them to make it really simple and easy. Okay. Now, I know your team has some really good structure and obviously processes. Is that more something that you've brought in? I know Mary's a big part of this. Like, tell us how your team is set up as far as organizational structure or processes, and how you guys replicate such success. Yeah. I mean, I love a good checklist. So there's a lot of checklists. Microsoft regimented. And I think with good team culture, there's also a lot of boundaries, right? Like, there's boundaries that we set for each other and how we want to work and what is expected, and accountability, not only from me to the agents, but the agents back to me, right? And so in our team, we have a unique structure where everyone sells on their own, which is awesome. And then Mary and I partner together. And so we've found a really good balance and way to divide up the work so that we're kind of both, I think, in our elements. I love that. Being able to be with the client, interact, show the houses, be the expert in the home, and me to then take on kind of the expertise of the contracts, negotiating, information gathering. So it's been a really great option for us. And I think our clients are lucky because Mary's more fun also to be with. So. I think you're a pretty fun guy yourself. That's very, very nice of you. Now, you talk about your clients so much, and I think you're very connected to them. I know a lot of it, you do client appreciation, different events. Tell us a little bit about your events and kind of how you stay connected to clients. And is there also, do you have like a specific strategy for following up like post-close? And tell us kind of how you stay so connected with them. Yeah, totally. It's super important, I think, to me and the rest of the team to try to stay as connected as possible. And to answer your latter question first, the biggest thing that we do is just celebrate the actual milestone of closing. And I think that that's super important. So I'm really regimented about checking in with clients after the closing, 1 week, 1 month, 6 months. And then we have a really robust gifting program where we are celebrating those clients' anniversaries every year, right?
Yeah.
Like we want to be in their lives and show them that we care. And do you need vendors? Do you need recommendations? What's the next step? Do you need an investment property?
Sure.
Right? So we want to be their advisors for life. So that's really important. The events are also important for us. I think that we love connecting with our clients and being able to see them, not just kind of text or call.
Yeah.
So we've got a really great kind of system, I think, down with our clients where in the spring, we always do some sort of event to give back to charity. So the past 2 years, we've done it for Mary's Place. In the fall, we just had our fall photography event where you can bring your family or your pet to Cal Anderson and we take photos for free for all of our clients and anyone else who comes by.
Sure.
And then we also do a turkey bowl event for charity in November, as well as I really like, the highlight of my year is the holiday party. So we have a holiday party. It's usually at my condo, which finally will be renovated this year. So I think we can move back there. But it's a great time to just like relax with our clients. We have our favorite people there. We get to hang out, lots of drinking, lots of food.
Sure.
It's really fun. So that's really an exciting event and just a way also to thank them for, their loyalty, being in our lives as well, and the business that they bring to us.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now you're obviously growing agents and growing your team. Any advice you have for like a newer agent trying to kind of get their start or get their feet wet, or what do you kind of think for new agents?
Yeah, I think that my biggest success came from just like always asking myself, what more could I do to get more business, and not letting kind of the status quo exist, and just treating, as much as I wanted to get away from a 9-to-5 job, still treating this as a 9-to-5 job. Like, okay, I have an hour or 3 hours on a Monday afternoon instead of like watching TV. Let me think about a way to find a new buyer, right? And so like, if you, as a new agent, if you're not getting business, there's probably more you could be doing.
Look at the activities.
Yeah. You need to like look at what you're doing in your day to day, because I think it's easy as an agent to come in, right, and say like, well, I didn't have this, or I didn't have this, or I didn't have this. But really, like, you have to put the mirror up and say like, what am I doing to get there? Right?
I love that. That's so good. Now we're towards the end of 2025 and obviously on to 2026. Anything that you're excited about within your business or your team's growth, or anything you're adding technology-wise, any new tools that you're excited about for this coming year?
I think, well, for our clients, we have a really cool program, I think, coming where it's kind of like a house manager. So if they sign up, like tells you, how to maintain the house, gives you reminders about like clean the gutters, wash the windows, those sorts of things. So that's kind of fun. I think it'll be really useful as a homeowner.
Absolutely.
For our team, I'm super excited to continue our growth in sales and the growth of the agents. We have a bet. This is the second year we've done it, and next year will be the third year. I don't know if we'll reach it yet. Mary and I were talking about it on the way. If the agents reach a certain goal of sales, then I've agreed that I'll take them all on a trip to Mexico.
Wow.
Paid for by me. So that would be really exciting if we reach that goal. Now it's a collective goal, right? So like me included. So if we can reach that, that would be a really fun trip to have. But continuing, I think, our culture, the outreach to clients, putting on great events is all really exciting to me in 2026 with some growth in sales.
Well, I'm so impressed with the team you've built and the business you built. Have a ton of respect for you. Any parting words for any of your clients or agents or anything that you want to finish the show with?
I don't think so. 2026 is going to be great. I think that we're super excited. If you're a client listening, thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of our business. We appreciate that. And we, you can help a lot with a small business just by paying attention, right? Giving the views, giving the likes.
And then, up to your events, going to the turkey,
come to the events. We'd love to have you. And then for any agents, if it sounds like our team could be a fit, if it looks like you might be a good person that we could work with, we'd love to chat with you. And then, thank you to you for your partnership and for having us.
Gosh, you're great, Brennan. Thank you so much. Until the next time. Thanks, guys.